The Kokin Wakashū, commonly abbreviated as Kokinshū, is an early anthology of the waka form of Japanese poetry, dating from the Heian period. It is an imperial anthology, conceived of by Emperor Uda and published by order of his son Emperor Daigo, in about 905. Its finished form dates to c. 920, though according to several historical accounts the last poem was added to the collection in 914. The compilers of the anthology were four court poets, led by Kino Tsurayuki and also including Kinoto Monori, Oshikochi no Mitsune, and Mabu no Tadamine. Significance: the Kokinshū is the first of the Wikipedia, the 21 collections of Japanese poetry compiled at Imperial request. It was the most influential realization of the ideas of poetry at the time, dictating the form and format of Japanese poetry until the late 19th century. It was the first anthology to divide itself into seasonal and love poems. The primacy of poems about the seasons pioneered by the Kokinshū continues even today in the haiku tradition. The Japanese preface by Kino Tsurayuki is also the beginning of Japanese criticism as distinct from the far more prevalent Chinese poetics in the literary circles of its day. The idea of including old as well as new poems was another important innovation, one which was widely adopted in later works, both in prose and verse. The poems of the Kokinshū were ordered temporally. The love poems, for instance, though written by many different poets across large spans of time, are ordered in such a way that the reader may understand them to depict the progression and fluctuations of a courtly love affair. This association of one poem to the next marks this anthology as the ancestor of the Renga and Haikai traditions. Structure: the exact number of poems in the collection varies depending on the textual tradition. The online edition, which follows the date family text based on a manuscript prepared by Fujiwara no Taker, contains 1,111 poems. The collection is divided into 20 parts, reflecting older models such as the Manyoshu and various Chinese anthologies. The organization of topics is however different from all earlier models, and was followed by all later official collections, although some collections like the Kokin Wakashū and Kokin Wakashū scaled the model down to 10 parts. The following divisions of the Kokinshū mention the Japanese names of the parts, the modern readings, and their English translations. The compilers included the name of the author of each poem, and the topic or inspiration of the poem, if known. Major poets of the Kokinshū include Arawara no Narahira, Ono no Komachi, Henjo and Fujiwara no Okakaze. Apart from the compilers themselves, inclusion in any imperial collection, and particularly the Kokinshū, was a great honor. Manuscripts. On October 20, 2010, Konan Women's University announced the discovery of a complete manuscript dating to c. 1220 to 1240. It is the oldest manuscript to contain both the kanji and kana prefaces. It is split into two volumes, 15.9 centimeters tall by 14.6 centimeters wide, totaling 429 pages containing all 1111 poems. It is thought to be a copy of a manuscript made by Fujiwara no Taker, but the identity of the copier is unknown. The manuscript was purchased from a used bookstore in 1982 for 4,280,000 yen.